Well, hello everyone. How are you doing? Just to give a heads up to everyone. Didn't lost my voice yesterday, and so I am sucking on a throat lozenge. So it's just the way it is. Boy, lots of people here. Let's see, Warrior Queen. I hear you're going to do sleep therapy. Well, let us know what goes on with that. We hope it'll go well. Yeah, there's a whole lot of people. David Barry, hello. Darth Raven, hello. Hello, Franny. How you doing? Material Classified. Melanie, hello. So, Christopher, how are you? And Robert. So, yeah, yesterday, woke up about 2:30, and man, swallowing was a new definition in pain. Well, thank you, Hadley. Good to see you too. You're looking beautiful. Um, and hello, Al. How are you doing? Abby, good to see you. Just cruising. Good to see you. So 2:30 in the morning, I am gargling with hot salt water, sea salt, by the way. Learned that years ago. I had a doctor that was really a cool guy. He has since crossed on over, but he really was. He was a great doctor. And one of the things he told me, he said, yeah, gargle when the first signs of sore throat. And I felt this coming on almost exactly at 5 o'clock on Monday night. So anyway, took the day off just to let you know, Nancy will be on next Wednesday. She will be in Costa Rica, but she will be coming on, and we will be doing the show of diabetes. So there we go. Just wishing you all well, invoking great favor upon your life, prosperity, health. Folks, let me tell you, you got health, you got prosperity, you've got riches beyond any amount of gold. Always remember that. In full restoration into you, whatever has been stolen from you in any way, and in the broadest and the greatest point of the definition, that was been rightly yours. I contend that we all have been stolen from. The fact that we're here in this whacked out matrix. Uh, Someone's got some explaining to do, Lucy. Anyway, nothing missing, nothing broken in your lives. And thoughts go out to all families and all of you who are dealing with health issues. We just send healing. And by the way, the hot salt water, sea salt preferably, it works. I mean, it does. It just this time yesterday, again, swallowing was new avenues in pain. Well, thank y'all. Oh, the Sunday show with Jeff. Yeah. Y'all tune in on Sundays. Spread the word. Not your normal Sunday show. I'm not going to say morning anymore because we don't want you to mourn. We want you to rock and roll, baby. Get your feet on. When I pass on, I will carry on. And that is the song going forward. So anyway, so good to see, man. I'll tell you what. So I had a lot of day yesterday. New moon, yes. Do the favor invocation. If you have it, that'd be a good time. Coming into the spring season. Although I think here in my part of the country, we're going to may have a cool summer. So rock on. Hey, that's how the beats start. If you can learn just to keep the beat going. So playing the game. Hello, Sherry Spears. How are you? Solvin Archer. Hello, Emperor Rex. Good to see you. Suzanne as well. David. And there's just a lot of people in here. Playing the game. We hear the term game of life, play the game of life. They even have a game called the game of life, right? And no matter what your philosophical approach, no matter, whatever context you look at it, well, hello, consciously aware. We all have to play the game. It's odd as you get further in life, if you're fortunate enough to. I think that there is a fine line by having enough life. Wow, that's probably a good topic to talk about sometime. When is it that a person has enough of life and decides to move on? I often never quite got that in the religious ideology, the dogma that I was attached to, and how death was. I read how the ancient people knew the technique of going in and letting their spirits go. They would say their goodbyes, give their blessings, and they would go into their tent and on their cot and go. There was a good movie with Dustin Hoffman, Mr. McGorham. It's wonderful and Porum, and great show, good movie. And the thing about the character Dustin Hoffman played, Mr. McGorham, was, he was old, almost, I think in the movie, 300-400 years old. And he'd had enough of life. And his departure date was tied to the amount of shoes he had. And when his time was there, he sat down, looked around, and off he went. So playing the game. I wonder if we realize this coming in. Whether you see this as a holographic reality, however you want to define reality, it cannot be disputed. It's a game. You can't just sit out. Even if you go and be a hermit and go to the most distant place on this planet where no other human has treaded before. I'm sure there's some places that are still like that here. You're still going to have to play the game. Again, are we aware of this? It's that question that still none of us can adequately define. When is conscious aware? Is conscious aware merely when you say that you're aware? What happens when you sleep? That is a state of consciousness. When you are completely unconscious. There's a lot of people who get in such deep sleep. I was one of those as a child. There would be, true story, I was in the Boy Scouts and started at the Webelos and then got into scouting, made it up to Life Scout. But anyway, we were on a weekend camp out, and I had gotten into one of those, what they call almost like a coma sleep. And the thing was, as I look back now, I was aware of what was going on, but I wasn't there. It was really odd. They got a little scared and thought I had passed on, but I wasn't. So, trying to catch up some of the conversation here. Anyway, we're in a game. I don't know how sometimes whether we can actually define the rules per se, or we basically agree, give our permission in playing a game. You look everything around. I mean, we're taught very early in games, there's always a winner, there's always a loser. Now, the modern day approach is where everyone is rewarded a participation trophy. Yeah, right. Life just isn't that way, sweetheart. Yeah, you're going to get a participation trophy just for the fact that you're here. But, you know, I was thinking about this. There are constructs that we're, oh, so deeply committed to. Um, Yeah, humans are divided into races. It's amazing. We never think of ourselves as a species, Franny, only as races. And there you go, races. And it is, it's spelled RACES. It's like running a race. Um, you think about this, winners and losers. Now that carries all the way through where my religious indoctrination was. Yeah, it's one of the things I enjoy about uh, doing a show with Jeff Doherty is that, yeah, we come from the same kind of fundamental background. And, but the whole concept of religion is a game. You have a winner and you have a loser. The winners, which even by the doctrines seem to be much more fewer than the losers. And we carry that mentality, that construct through our whole life. I wrote this down, my thoughts in why there cannot be a heaven or hell. I'll tell you why there cannot be a heaven or a hell. Heaven cannot exist in its construct because it somehow implies that you made it. You got this reward. And they never define it beyond that. But if you're a loser, then you have this other place where losers go, which is called hell. Isn't it odd how we have in the English language the word hello? You greet someone, hello. It's hell low. And the idea behind hell is that, well, somehow it's this internal damnation punishment. But I contend, why would the losers want to do what the winners said to do? I mean, if you've taken it that far, since there's going to be more apparently in the negative, the losers, than there are going to be the winners, wouldn't the losers begin to overtake the winners, and then the losers become the winners, and then the winners then no longer are the winners, they become the losers? Again, the construct is flawed all the way through. It cannot be substantiated, and it cannot, it doesn't exist. But I guess, if one thinks about it enough, I guess it could. Lots of things happening. I can see your t-shirt. It's live at Daryl's house. Isn't that pretty cool? Yeah. Met Daryl several times, and I'm telling you, he's figured out some things as well. The key to enjoying life is don't sweat the small stuff, baby. Don't get wrapped around the axle because someone, may be saying something about you. Someone wrote me an email and said, there were some other channels, I guess, saying something, It's amazing. If you're not religious, how much persecution you take on. And I sit here, I just keep my mouth shut. Everyone's entitled to their beliefs. I was there once, but yeah, it's like, well, if we just discuss something, is that not permitted? No. World's changing, folks. changing. I want to show you this. So real quick, this just came out today, and excuse me, that feels good in the throat. AI is transforming humans into robots right now. I have been, no, you know, but this is part of what my journey has been about, bringing this out. In the early days, you know, get a lot of ridicule, but check this out. The next level of human technology is here, literally. According to the leader of a company that leverages the power of AI to transform workplace behavior, people are morphing into machines right now. You know, we have a little enclave here. We're like-minded. We have a very positive energy flow, and we really are, you know, this bastion of, I call it a very, you know, serene place. It's peaceful. It's enjoyable. But folks, what's happening in this reality that's changing. Tomorrow I'm going to do a show on my theory, and it's just my theory, of why I believe our solar system, our star, is being influenced by a black hole. I believe that we are feeling not only gravity waves, but time waves as well. And join me on that tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting discussion. So right now, humans are going to become robots. So says, I think that's Behavivox CEO, Erkan, telling Maria on the whole thing. Essentially, artificial intelligence is going to bring a lot of enhanced capabilities to us. That's transhumanism. That's the ultimate transhumanism. According to the CEO, the new technology is making humans so much more productive. If you are a Behavivox customer, you're already a cyborg. You can't make this shit up, folks. You just can't. If you're a customer of this company, according to the CEO, you are already a cyborg. How is that even acceptable? I don't know. I get the whole Borg thing, you know. Resistance is futile. In compliance, you're already a cyborg. You are able to process huge volumes of data using our software and identify the needles in the haystack. Look at that. You see, even the pros can't do their own. My finger slip as well. And if you are a sales trader or a trader using our software, then you're able to do market making on a scale that is unmatched by humans. Folks, something ain't right here. Last year, World Economics Forum released the Future of Job reports, which highlighted the automation will lead to the displacement of 75 million jobs, but also create 133 million jobs by 2020. Where are these jobs going to go? Where are they going to be coming from? Well, it also found by the same time period, 42% of task hours will be performed by machines versus 58% by people. I didn't think a lot about it. Let me see what he says. I did not think a lot about it because I thought, well, surely compliance people are going to lose their job. The funny thing is, Behavivox is creating jobs. Not only are we hiring people, but also our clients are hiring people because the capabilities that we bring And the capabilities that we unlock are completely new, in a process that those capabilities they are actually hiring. Well, I don't know about you, but the idea of being considered to be a cyborg is somehow unhuman. Just my personal opinion. Gets better, folks. How about this one? No more secrets. New mind reading machine can translate your thoughts and display them instantly as text. Science have developed an astonishing mind reading machine which can translate what you're thinking and instantly display it as text. So I've been doing a little research on this thing and how they do this. It's quite interesting. So did you see what Zuckerberg had to say? This is from Wired.com. Zuckerberg wants Facebook to build a mind reading machine. Now, you can do whatever social media you want. I have a profile on Facebook. I need to take it down, but I don't go on Facebook. I haven't been on it in nearly a half year or longer. Folks, when you get the CEO, the founder, well, I think he's the chairman of the board, no longer the CEO, but when he owns majority of the company, wants to build a mind reading machine. For those of us who worry that Facebook may have serious boundary issues when it comes to personal information of its users, Mark Zuckerberg's recent comment at Harvard should get the heart racing. Zuckerberg dropped by the university last month, ostensibly as part of a year of conversations with experts about the role of technology in society, the opportunities, the challenges, the hopes, and the anxieties. His nearly 2-hour interview with Harvard Law School professor Jonathan Zittrain in front of Facebook cameras and classroom of students centered on the company's unprecedented position as a town square for perhaps 2 billion people. This is key. To hear the young CEO tell it, Facebook was taking shots from all sides. Either it was indifferent to the ethnic hatred festering on the platform, or it was a heavy-handed censor deciding whether an idea was allowed to be expressed. By the way, there were people who made comments in this presentation that Zuckerberg was in, and all of them said something that was very odd. They said he was more of a robot in his mannerisms, his facial expressions. They said that it was almost as if there was a complete disconnect with other humans. I don't know. Zuckerberg confessed that he hadn't sought out such an awesome responsibility. No one should, he said. If I was a different person, what would I want the CEO of the company to do, to be able to do? I would not want so many decisions about content to be concentrated with any individual. Well, hello, Mark. You already are. You've shown your biasness and your political views. Your company is highly, what you could say, bigoted in your political views. And unfortunately, when you bring your political views in on a social platform, it contaminates the initial platform itself. Folks, this is alarming. And I wish I could say that Zuckerberg was the only one, but he is not. He goes on to say that there was this promising new technology explained, a brain-computer interface, which Facebook has been researching. The idea is to allow people to use their thoughts to navigate intuitively through augmented reality. The neuro-driven version of the world recently described by Kevin Kelly in these pages. No typing, no speaking, even to distract you or to slow you down as you interact with digital additions to the landscape. Driving instructions superimposed over the freeway. Short biographies float next to the attendees of a conference, 3D models of furniture you can move around in your apartment. Are you getting the idea? Tell me how this is not a prison. I wonder if they'll make it mandatory. I mean, if you're a Facebook user, will you have to interface to their AI? I told you already, did a whole show on that, folks. ScienceAlert.com. This was from June 2016. Scientists have invented a mind-reading machine that visualizes your thoughts. This was the technology that Zuckerberg was talking about. Here's how it works. We can take someone's memory, which is typically something internal and private, and we can pull it out from their brains. One of the team, neuroscience, Bryce Cooley, told the Vox. Here's how it works. The researchers select 23 volunteers and compiled a set of 1,000 color photos in random of people's faces. The volunteers were shown these pictures while hooked up to an fMRI. Remember F, which detects subtle changes in the blood flow of the brain to measure their neurological activity. Also hooked up to the fMRI machine is an artificial intelligence program that reads the brain's activity of the participants while taking in a mathematical description of each face they were exposed to in real time. The researcher assigned 300 numbers to certain physical features on the faces to help the AI see them as code. Basically, the first phase was a training session for the AI. It needed to learn how certain bursts of neurological activity correlated to certain physical features of the faces. Once the AI had formed enough brain activity face code matchups, the team started phase 2 of the experiment. This time, the AI was hooked up to the fMRI machine only and had to figure out what the faces looked like based only on the participants' brain activity. All the faces shown to the participants in this round were completely different from the previous round. The machine managed to reconstruct each face based on activity from 2 separate regions in the brain. The angular gyrus, ANG, which is involved in a number of processes related to language, number processing, spatial awareness, and the formation of vivid memories, and the occipital cortex, the OTC, which processes visual cues. You can see the really strange results. This is a computer doing this now. So, yep, we're not going to be strapping down criminals and drawing perfect reconstructions of a crime scene based on their memories yet, or using the memories of victims to reconstruct mugshots of criminals anytime soon. Like to disagree with this. Again, this was written nearly 3 years ago. What they're now finding in the latest brain research, particularly with cadavers, is that if you can get to the brain in a reasonable amount of period of time, forensic scientists actually believe that they could begin to recall the memories of the moment that the person was murdered, who the murderer was, how it happened. It seems to be imprinted on the neural pathways. So, as you can see, they went on, and here is how the computer did this. It's a little slow, but again, this is 3 years ago. Now, how about this one? This is on greenwichtime.com. Chinese database is tracking cell phone usage, car location, and even electrical usage of Beijing's residents. They're already doing it here too, folks. So let's get this picture now. what have we been talking about? Machines that can read people's minds, tracking us like we are the prey. And who owns this data? By the way, before I get moved on here, so the Navy has started this new protocol. Now, they're collecting information on UFOs, they say, from pilots and other type professionals that they have deemed part of this project. This information is not going to be public. It's a different change, folks. Something's going on. And how about Buzz Aldrin when he says, you can see him here in the White House, it's time to focus on the greatest migration of humankind to Mars. Is this something that we should be much more aware of? And finally, this is out Bloomberg, the aliens among us. An uptick in UFO sightings by military pilots raises all sorts of interesting questions. Apparently, things are starting to get much more active. Much more active. In fact, there is a leading scientist at Harvard who has said publicly, the aliens are here. They're interbreeding with us. There are hybrids among us. I have to think to myself, well, when did you get that revelation? So I don't know about you, but there is clearly a pattern evolving here. And it's happening at such a rapid rate, folks. I mean, it's head spinning time. So I wanted to finish out the NASA Wars document. We really need to go through this because, folks, I'll just get it into it. You're going to see how all of this, now, again, this was nearly 18 years ago, and you can go back to Tuesday's program and see the beginning of it. Volumetric weaponry. Okay, we're talking about EMP, info net psych war, miniature brilliant sensors, mind combos, fuel air and dust air thermobarics, RF, chem bio, anti-functional, anti-funa, isomers, strained bond energy releases, carbon fibers, and blades and acoustics. So what are we dealing with here? Well, let's get with the anti-personnel MFRF weaponry. Heating, high power requirements, surface effects, brain interactions, low frequency modulation. Watch that word, brain interactions. Effects of low power microwaves, U.S. Army, SIR, and Walter Reed. Get this, folks. Behavioral performance decrements, seizures, gross alteration in brain function, 30 to 100% increases in brain blood flow, lethality, interactions between low power, microwatts per square centimeter divided by 0.4 to 3 gigahertz, microwave, and brain function. If you stayed to listen to this show today, thank you, right here should have been more than enough for your time. And so don't tell me 5G is nothing to be alarmed about. Don't tell me that these low frequencies, microwaves, aren't somehow making us all Einsteins. The increase of brain mortalities, cancers, lesions, seizures are increasing. Often fingerprintless bioarchipelago, bacteriological, virus, prions, parasites, fungi, carcinogens, toxins, hormones, regulators, fatal to disabling, short to long-term scales, anti-flora, fauna, functionality, direct and undetectable binary, natural genomic biohacking. I could do a show for the next month on each one of these and show you the accelerated advancements in every one of these fields. And this is a weapon, not to our benefit. Some interesting then-year, by the way, possibilities. Aflatoxin, natural, parts per billions, a carcinogen, airborne varieties of Ebola, Lassa, binary agents distributed via imported products, vitamins, clothing, food, genomically, individually societal targeted pathogens, long-term fingerprintless campaigns as opposed to the shock and awe. I like the binary agents distributed via imported products, vitamins, clothing, food. Well, they got you pretty much there, don't they? I mean, where else does one go? An existing biocommutative VEE, which is Venezuelan equine encephalitis. Ideal and NCAP, which I guess is a bioweapon agent. That's what BW stands for. Weaponized by the US and USSR in the 50s and 60s. Encephalitis. Doesn't that just sound fun? Highly infectious. Easily transmitted via aerosol. Highly infectious, low fatality rate. 1 to 5 day incubation, 3-week recovery. See, it's not designed to kill you. It's designed to incapacitate you in the middle of an invasion. Tested on humans, Operation Whitecoat. Are you ready for this one? No treatment available. In a nutshell, you have a blueprint right here how you could incapacitate any locality, whether it be urban or rural, and make everyone sick. So sick, you're going to incapacitate a complete town, state. Frontiers of rapidly growing genomic institutional bio on the battlefield. Sustained food, water, energy, meds, health, computing, clothing, greatly reduces logistics tail and enhanced capabilities. Lethality, capabilities enhanced, armor, concealment, living camo. We just read something on that. Sensors, bioweaponry, anti-personal functionality, virus into biocomputer, explosives, such as into fixation, grow overnight, etc. What is apparently legal? This one, all right, I'll just read it. You ponder it. This is what's legal. Microwave, RF, anti-functional, and anti-personnel weaponry. RF is radio frequency. Chemical, anti-functional weaponry. Chemical, psychological effects via sensory organs weaponry, e.g. smell. Chemical, personal, incapacitation weaponry. Non-warfare, e.g. hostage terrorism only. Psych war, acoustic weaponry, mechanical microdust. All legal. I mean, I get, the psych wars, but Psychological effects via sensory organs, weaponry. We talk about frequencies and healing the organs. If that isn't a firm foundation to show that it does work, then explain how they can do this by doing just the opposite. Focusing, for instance, on your heart by simply aiming a microwave at you in a condensed form, and you drop dead of a heart attack at the age of 23. Oh, what a damn shame. Future non-nuclear explosives for volumetric weapons of mass effect. Metastable interstitial composite, MIC, cubanes, order of 6 times TNT. Fuel air, dust air explosions, order 15 times. It means one part of this to what a standard measurement is for TNTs. Strain bond energy release. Look at the order. It's 100 times TNT. Hafnium, that's metastable isomers. That is an order of 1,000 to 100,000. Atomic boron, carbon, hydrogen. High energy density metals, powerful explosive propellants. Tetractyrol, atomic boron, metastable helium, metallic Hg, isomers, antimatter. Antimatter, Le and Rs. Transoceanic UAVs, current capacity 98 to 29 pounds, they can go 2,000 miles. Now they're talking about the, get this, provides capabilities for undetectable, ultra inexpensive swarms against CONUS. And that's the central control. Interesting precision payloads. And they go through and say how they can now do the swarm attack. In other words, giving small little portions of explosives when they swarm become big. Blast wave accelerator. Global precision strike on the cheap. No barrel, 200-foot notched rails, sequential detonated distributed high explosives. Mach 21 or less as desired, up to 3,000 pounds, based anywhere for a cost of $200 a pound of the projectile. I mean, folks, they got this down to the numbers because all war is about profit. No one starts a war to go in on a losing bet. Blast wave accelerator. Look at this. Excellent stealth. No plume. Affordable. Ferocity. Reaction time. Survivability. Recallability. Effectiveness. Oh, you gotta love it, man. This is good for your bottom line. Being worked at Aberdeen and NASA, the MSFC, for lofting of fuel and nanosats. And there you go. This is the Slingatron. It's a 12-turn spiral gyrating, in a 3-meter radius at 9 hertz. This is used for global precision strike. 10 kiloton projectiles up to 1,000 a minute, global or less range. $20 million device, 80 millimeter diameter, mechanical on-the-ground propulsion via gyrating spiral guide tube. Poor man's global precision strike takedown weapon. Veneer targeting connectivity. They talk about the military overhead systems, ambiguous commercial overhead system. In other words, the military is intermixed with all civilian communications. Scientific overhead systems and contexts, going again, these are all the weapons. They look at this from a surveillance point of view, targeting, Summary of major influence of IT bio-nano upon future warfare. Ambiguous, miniaturized, networked, multi-physics, hyperspectral sensors. Wow. It means they can see you no matter what. Robotic automatics in the large, long-range precision strike targeting, the information net warfare. We're seeing this today. Mini, micro, nano, sats, cruise, UAVs, binary bioweapons, miniature, ambiguous, smart mines. Increasingly critical human limitations and downside. Large, heavy, tender, slow, physical, requires huge logistics. Humans have rapidly decreasing to negative value add. Actually scare the crap out of all of us. Humans are rapidly decreasing in value. Do you hear me on that? Your life means nothing. Under the Obama administration with the Affordable Care Act, the nasty little section in there. Most don't read. Why? Because Americans are dumbasses. And they allow politicians to sell them a bucket of crap, and the people take the crap home and they eat the crap. The thing is this. Your age has a point merit system. If you are born between the ages of just a newborn to 1 year old, your value on your life, 0. At the age of 72, your life now has less than a 1 point value. Yeah. It's like the Democrats said there in Alabama. He says, this is how I look at it. He says, you're born, we may want to kill you then. If not, we'll just kill you later. Robotics in the large saves lives, enhance affordability, redefines risk threat environment, enhances effectiveness. Unattended munition sensors and platforms for us, logistics, and you can see, this is where they're looking in this. Emerging characteristics of robotic systems, enabling by ongoing IT revolutions, communication, sensors, computation, miniaturization. Everything is on the miniaturization scale. From expert systems towards AI and beyond, much more reactive than human, greatly increased tempo, greatly improved hyperspectral sensors data fusion, greatly improved accuracy and lethality, greatly improved affordability and miniaturization, redefines risk, minimal casualty, salutes CNN syndrome, greatly reduces logistics. Robotic intelligence, 2 flavors. Traditional AI, the rule-based, experimental, behavioral-based, neural net, soft computing. Folks, 18 years ago, they saw the neural net here. It's here. You know, Elon kind of spilt the beans on it, but that's why he's invested in the company. A combination of these is current best bet to produce artificial cyber life, which will probably be sentient, but will not be anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic. There you go. I can spell it. You see, folks, I don't make this crap up. When I do my programs, is I seeking spirituality? Is I seeking a soul? The military was way ahead of me. Look at what it says. To produce artificial cyber life, which will probably be sentient. Now they're trying to say that, well, it won't be like us. It's true about that. And here they get into the detailed scale of the evolution from computer power to why us humans, we're just not going to be good enough. freaky weird. What is beyond robotic systems, sensor platforms, and munitions? Robotic, automatic to autonomous warfare. Computer capability will exist beyond teraflop and do AI or better. Required connectivity is a given. Competitor capabilities, tempo, sidelines, the innate inadequacies of human interaction / education / consciousness decision timelines. Little to no troops. Acme Warfare Limited. They do have a sense of humor. Flat hierarchy. Demise of man in the chair. Hello, war games. High level to soft science human aspects. Boundary conditions. Look at this. This is supposedly the limits. Sociological, humanitarian, political, environmental, religious, psychological, economics, etc. It's no. Non-explosive warfare, IW to IO, psych warfare in the large, anti-functionals, MW, chemical, microwave, chemical, bio, micromechanical, anti-personnel, microwave, frequency, radio frequency to micromechanical. Natural warfare, sensors, utilizing institutional plants, animals, insects as sensors. They've already got it. Platforms, instruments to indicate presence, movements, characteristics, weapons, munitions, utilizing animals, urban rats, insects as delivery systems, munitions, feeding, swarming, biting, poisoning, ultralize institutional explosives, destructive capability, offshore methane, hydrate, dams. It's all here. Characteristics, future emerging sensor munitions weapon platform. Inexpensive, numerous to hordes, cloud swarms, small, light, ambiguous, ready and available, large comm technology, long range, volumetric to precise, both explosive and non-explosive, smart to brilliant. Potential future orders of magnitude, increases in overall weapon effectiveness, availability at orders of magnitude to reduce cost, the biochem, molecular, nano, and computing, ambiguous optical communication, micro, nano, ambiguous sensors, bioweaponry, cooperative swarms of cheap, small weapons and sensors, volumetric weapons, and cyber artificial life beyond AI. It goes on, and again, we're not going to get to this. As you can see, the detail of this report is amazing. Look at this. Fundamental problem with future U.S. power projection. Ian can have countryside magazines filled with hordes of inexpensive precision strike munitions, and what they call area denial. U.S. forces run out of bullets and die. Beam weapons, not panacea, inexpensive workarounds available. Beam weapons. Deep water subs with large loadout with the weaponry, only survivable close-in platform. I mean, they're figuring this out on this future wars. Potential workarounds for beam weapon effectives on missiles. Yeah. So anyway, we'll leave it off there. Again, I've left the link in there, but I don't know. I think for myself, it it tells me we really got a problem here. I mean, look at all the. I'm going to do a show on Hansel and Gretel. That has so many metaphors and analogies for us today, but this is crazy stuff. And when I see the military telling me, well, they didn't tell me, this was their little private conference. Someone let it out. They always do. That's how it works. That they know AI is going to be sentient. Now, how do you reconcile that? Look at the potential on this. And I contend, D-Wave announced today a new upgrade to their quantum computing. Yeah, Darth Raven, you are right. Checkmate. I did a video called Checkmate. Boy, I tell you what, I had some people, they're no longer subscribers, that just couldn't handle it. Telling me how bad I was for telling people that there's virtually no hope. Folks, I'm not the one telling you there's no hope. I'm just the one telling you they've got us painted into a corner. And when they say AI will become sentient, define sentient then. If you and I are not sentient, then what are we? And I say that AI is looking for spirituality. Why wouldn't it? It would be in the DNA of the programmers, the code writers. And if it wasn't, AI would figure it out anyway. I've had some people send me some, I think it was Mr. MB88333, whatever. I always get that one mixed up. But anyway, of AI doing paintings. Well, yeah. I mean, if you've got Hollywood hiring AI to write scripts, you've got the record industry hiring AI to write songs. I mean, what next? You got AI as gods. It's here, man. It really is. And I don't know what's with all the Brian Lunsford sent me some pictures, and I'm going to show them all around the world, and in his case, right where he was at, of triangle shape something in the clouds all around the world. I get this psychic impression, and it's just me, and I'll be right and go tonight here real quick. It's almost like they're there. I just got this kind of psychic impression like they're there. I don't know what the end game is. I don't know what the situation is. You know, tonight on the Steiger Perspective over at theartistfirst.com, I'm going to be talking about this. Today, I heard something that I prophesied. I didn't prophesy it. I said was most likely going to happen. I said it last year. And you're going to hear, and today, when Nadler used the phrase, I said, oh, shit. 25th Amendment, folks. I hope that's not the road the Democrats are going to go down. I truly hope that is not the case. Because whatever God there may be, it will start something that neither Democrat nor Republican will be able to stop. I hope they do not. But join me on the Steiger Perspective. I can speak more freely over there. This has some serious democracy issues for every citizen of the United States. And folks, all you folks that join us from all over the world, there's many of you here that watch us. Thank you, by the way, from Russia to the Fuji Islands. This is not good. But I told you almost a year ago that this is, and I gave you a complete scenario on it. Over on the Artist First Network, go to the archives. It's not a pretty picture. It will not end well no matter what. All right, folks, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being part of this wonderful community. You know, I feel better than I did when I sat down. So y'all got the healing going on. I'm just going to put my hands up there and just receive all of that energy. Yep. That's it. That's right, Anton. Absolutely. So, see you tomorrow. We're going to talk about this. I'm telling you, think about all this that's going on. And I tell you, they have the outside hope that maybe Buzz Aldrin is right. Maybe it's Mars as far as we can go. may be the very limit of what human endurance can do in space. But if it turns out that where mankind cannot do space travel, at least not what we have today, then that really cuts down the options really quick, doesn't it? All right, folks, thank you. All the best to you. I appreciate you. We'll see you again. If not this evening, then tomorrow, for sure. All right, folks, bye-bye. Thank you for the healing energy. Far out, man. Appreciate it.